Oh, now we're cooking. Okay. You know, I don't know how long this video will be, probably nothing too crazy, but just know for every 2 things I talk about, there are probably 3 or 4 other things I could be talking about. Sinners is not only the best movie I've seen this year, but it might also be the best movie I've covered on the channel so far. I know that because the longer I sit and think about what I want to talk about, the longer the video seems in my head. And in my defense, it's not like I cover nothing but Hollywood classics on this channel. It's mostly a mix of new movies and movies I personally love and want to talk about. But Sinners reminds me why I love movies to begin with. Sinners is an embarrassment of riches, offering layer upon layer of things to latch onto and gleam some cinematic thrill out of. It's got crime, action, romance, music, comedy, drama, and maybe most importantly, this bitch got vampires in it, tons of them. Sinners is about the Smokestack twins who return from their criminal careers in Chicago to their hometown in Mississippi circa 1932. There, they attempt to open a juke joint for the local plantation workers to come and dance and forget that it's Mississippi circa 1932. And it's a good thing that truly good music can transcend time and space. But it's a bad thing too, because that same music can also call out to the spiritual plane as well and can be a siren song for evil forces intoxicated by its magic. There's a brief bit of narration at the start that explains all this. I'm not doing a very good job. It's much more poetic in the movie. It works really well. From there, we are introduced to Sammy, played brilliantly by first-time actor Miles Caton. He's stumbling into a church covered in blood, clutching a piece of a guitar, and then we go back to the day before and see how he ended up there. Michael B. Jordan obviously has the clearest lead roles in Sinners, but the central placement of Sammy as our POV is incredibly important to what the movie is saying about music, life, art, and freedom. I think Sammy's the key to this movie's biggest theme. It's also a performance that could usher in a long career if he wants that. I know he's a legit musician as well in real life and opened for her and stuff like that. Cougler said they were wanting a musician for the role, and boy did they find one. His voice is so deep and hypnotizing, I don't blame anybody for being drawn to it, even vampires. But wait, before we get to vampires, in fact, the first half and then some of this movie, we get to just watch Smoke and Stack as they reunite and recruit old friends and flames to help with the opening night of their new club. The first half of this movie will go down in my personal history books as one of the best examples of setting up all of your characters for thematic success in the third act in a genre movie, especially, not to get hella specific. If you've seen Sinners, or even the trailer or this video, you know this is a vampire movie, and if you didn't know that, I'm really sorry to spoil it. And while that is abundantly clear even from the opening scene, Cougler has absolutely no problem trusting his audience to watch as he crafts this beautiful story of music and ambition and endless potential born from struggle, and creates a rich tapestry of complex characters that he so clearly cares about, and the tragedies driving wedges between them that keep them apart or bring them closer together. I'm rambling a little bit, but that's what the first half feels like. And then the vampires show up, and somehow, magically, Cougler is able to meld the 2 types of stories together, and instead of it feeling like 2 different movies smashed together, the 2 actually begin to harmonize, and Sinners becomes an animal entirely unique to itself. It fires on all cylinders from start to finish.
All of this just works.
Like I said at the top, I think Sinners has such a layered and rich story that different people might latch onto or identify with different things that are going on. So personally, for me personally, the thing I really found captivating in the movie most was the arc of Sammy, as I've mentioned earlier. He's the son of a preacher and the cousin of the Smokestack twins. So right there, duality goes crazy, okay? These 2 entirely different lifestyles and ideologies in front of him, and he mostly just wants to play music. But he plays music so well that it conjures evil spirits. I think Sinners taps into this idea of using what you're best at for good, or how we choose to use our gifts. So while it's canon that Sammy will become a one-of-a-kind world-famous blues musician, that night where everything went to hell, He saw the entire spectrum of what his gifts could do for him. He could make people dance with joy and let them, find the button and shit, and bond with his cousins, but can also attract those that want to exploit you and hurt you and those you care about in the process. And it's up to the bearer of those gifts to use them for not just their own betterment, but maybe even the betterment of others if you're lucky. Before Sammy goes out for the night, his father warns him, if you dance with the devil, one night he might follow you home. And by the end of the movie, I think Sammy has realized that he doesn't want to dance with the devil. He would rather have the devil dance for him. He will not assimilate. He's the artist, he's the one with the gift, and he has to pave his own way if he wants to be happy. So what if his music is so good it attracts the devil? Good blues music attracts everybody. Light spoilers here, as if I haven't already been dropping those, but Sammy leaving his hometown to embark on his music career is just a perfect way to end this movie. And that theme of duality isn't just with Sammy, but it goes for the vampires too. That's always been a staple of vampire movies, right? The dark and the light, the good and the evil. When I mentioned themes harmonizing earlier, this is where I see that happening. The main vampire, Remick, is Irish and sings a lot of Irish folk songs and does jigs, and that's all great too. But if Remick is that old, I wonder if he suffered through or at least observed the pain and oppression the Irish suffered and how much he empathizes and understands the struggles of Mississippi circa 1932. Both the blues and Irish folk music were born out of impoverished and oppressed communities, and seeing the two genres of music in conversation with each other on screen was just super clever. The vampires, while clearly being the main antagonists of Sinners, are well-rounded and their argument makes a ton of sense. And not just because Jack O'Connell is mesmerizing and charismatic in the role of Remick. Join us, you won't surely die, you'll come back stronger and we'll kill everybody who's holding you down. It can be a utopia. And what's a utopia without a hive mind where everybody we turn gives us their skills and memories and gifts that we can then use to grow stronger? They want Sammy so they can use his gift, but Sammy is basically going to be independent and fuck a label. You can tell Sinners is a lot because I've barely even talked about the Smokestack twins, both roles played so well by Jordan. They distinguish who's who with ease, whether by their hat color or which side of their mouth has the gold tooth or which love interest they have. But also, all of that aside, Jordan is giving two clear and subtle performances. Stack and Smoke are entirely different with how they interact with the world around them and each other, and I never once had an issue telling who was who in the context of the scene. And the VFX to accomplish these dual roles looks seamless from the first time we see them together. Delroy Lindo is also both hilarious and heartbreaking as Delta Slim, this self-aware drunk, but more importantly, a passionate musician with a gift who just gets so much character development for being like the 6th or 7th most important character in the movie. The ladies here are killing it too. The marketing really centered Haley Steinfeld and Michael B. Jordan as the romantic leads, and they are wonderful. But I think the story of Michael B. Jordan and Wunmi Mosaku is far and away the most affecting and emotional romance in the film. I loved it. Speaking of romance, like most vampire movies, Sinner is super hot and sexy and sweaty and alluring while not being exploitative or gratuitous. It's a sexy ass movie, but it also earns it through the dynamics and backstories between all these people. This is a movie for adults, by the way. And I can only think of one adult that could have an understandable issue with this movie, and that adult is Shameik Moore. I get it, man. I wouldn't like it either. I also wanted to point out the music in this movie, from the score to also the more diegetic music that's constantly throughout it. Almost every scene has some musical element to it, and Ludwig Göransson just crushed it. I've loved him for a long time. He's worked with Cougler on just about everything, and then he just did Oppenheimer, and then in 2025, he's probably done 3 in between this, but now he comes and does this, and he just knocks it out of the park. The amount of amazing blues music that fills this movie is worth a ticket price alone. It's astounding how good the music in this movie is. And lastly, but maybe most important, is Ryan Cougler at the head of this thing. He's had a blank check to cash since Creed and has been racking up blank checks exponentially ever since. It's about time he cashed one in, and I'm just levitating with excitement for how original, but more crucially, how fucking good his blank check movie came out to be. And I hope Sinners is successful enough that Cougler can keep making big creative swings like this, because Ryan Cougler has a gift, clearly, and I'm glad he's using it for good the way he is. And I look forward to whatever he's doing next. It's a reboot of the X-Files. Fucking bullshit. If you saw Sinners, what'd you think? Did you love it? Am I capping? Am I overhyping it? I hope not. I think it's really good and I need to see it a third time. If you haven't seen it yet, please go see Sinners, and thank you for watching. Let me know down in the comments what your favorite vampire movie is, and if you think one is like grossly underrated or underappreciated, please drop some recommendations for all of us to check out. I'll go first. It's super early 2010s coded, but Daybreakers I think goes a little under the radar, but it's really fun. Like and subscribe if you want. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you later. Bye.